Oh boy. This is the point where I regret my decisions. I regret my choices for films that I picked. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is still my 31 days of horror movie reviews, day 5 to be exact. And I guess it's not like I've never seen this before. I saw this one time previously in the theaters, I think. I'm talking about Scary Movie 5. As you can tell, I don't have any DVD or Blu-ray of this fucking film because why the fuck would I? It's a 2013 movie. I can't believe it was even that long ago. It was written by David Zucker, who was the previous director of the last two movies, and written by Pat Proft, the same guy who also co-wrote the last two movies. So how did this go so wrong? These are two people. I mean, look, I said what I said about the previous two films, Scary Movie 3 and Scary Movie 4. I did say that the quality dip was real with those two movies compared to the first two Scary Movie movies. So it's not like this is shocking. It's not like it's out of the blue. I was aware that there was a dip in quality just in general with these two guys, but it was not this vast. The dip in quality was not this much of a huge departure to where I was appalled and disgusted with the other two movies. This one is like, why does this exist? It's every franchise has at least one movie where you're like, I'm going to pretend like you don't even exist. Why? I forgot how bad this was. This is bad, people. It's directed by Malcolm D. Lee, another guy that I looked him up for movies he directed, and he's directed films that do not show what the quality in his work is. Like, I'm not saying he's like one of the top 10 greatest directors of all time or anything like that, but he definitely hasn't directed anything as bad as this. Maybe this is a case where he just needed the work, or maybe this is a case where he's director in sort of name and role only. He did whatever the writers and producers wanted him to do. He just went with the flow. He didn't really give a fuck as far as putting his own spin to it, because I can't. I really can't. The beginning of this movie, we see Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan, and it's funny to go back to watch Lindsay Lohan from over 10 years ago, because her career has been so up and down and been so zigzag all over the place. She obviously started out as a child actress, and then the older she was getting, like teenage, early 20s, she was sort of looked at as like, hey, she's going to be the next big thing. And then she had her troubles, and then she had her tribulations, and then she had all of these issues personally and bled over to professionally, where nobody took her seriously as an actress anymore, and everybody thought she's gonna wind up in a bad place. But now, today, if you look at Lindsay Lohan, she's made a comeback. She's cleaned herself up, she looks great, she's gotten married, she has a kid or kids, and she's gotten back to doing legit movies. Like, she actually has her career somewhat back now. Good for her. But this was back when she was a mess. So to go back and be reminded of like, oh yeah, she was not doing well. And this movie is only a reflection or a reminder of how not great she was doing during this time. So I didn't really care for any of that. I know they were spoofing Paranormal Activity. You would think that if any movie is going to successfully parody Paranormal Activity, it would be Scary Movie. Like, that franchise should be able to do gold with Paranormal Activity, with the setup of it, with the found footage-ness of it. And they just fumble the ball completely. It's like the material is there. I could write better shit than the shit they were doing. These writers were more into making jokes at the expense of Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan. I'm not saying I'm offended for them. They clearly did it. But I'm like, these jokes are so cheap. Actually go with the horror stuff. Actually go with what Paranormal Activity. Make fun of that. That's what I want to see you make fun of. Not these fucking actors. I don't give a fuck about that. So then we cut to Snoop Dogg and Mac Miller, and I'm just like, I forgot Mac Miller was in this. And Snoop Dogg, too, I don't think I remember. And that they come across a cabin in the woods, of course. And they find these two little girls who have been stranded out there. They're all dirty and they're acting like dogs, they're acting like animals. And then I was reminded of, oh yeah, the majority of this film, the plot, it's not Paranormal Activity. That was just a brief bit at the beginning. No, the majority of this movie is making fun of the movie Mama. Remember that film? Like, talk about an odd choice of a movie that I remember at the time people liked Mama or thought it was good, and maybe it made a decent amount of money. But talk about not leaving your footprint on any sort of remembering in horror history. Like, nobody talks about that movie anymore. Nobody remembers hardly that film. I barely remember seeing that movie. I remember not caring for it. But I was like, man, what a choice to go with that particular film. So you have these two kids who are running around acting like dogs. I guess that's supposed to be funny. That's another thing. I never laughed this entire film. I didn't laugh. Well, I take that back. I did laugh one time. I will tell you the one time that I laughed. But the fact that this movie is like an hour and a half long and I only laugh once goes to show how terrible all of this is. So we get introduced to Ashley Tisdale, which I've never seen the High School Musical movie, so I don't really have a touchstone for Ashley Tisdale. But I just, she's no Anna Faris, right? She's not the character or the actress that we've grown accustomed to, that we are used to with this franchise, and I don't think Ashley Tisdale does a bad job. She's fine. Like, she's very attractive. She's able to pull off the goofy stuff and the over-the-top stuff. She's not afraid to make herself look dumb. So I appreciate all of that. It just felt like there was some familiarity of Anna Faris being here missing. And that was a big part of me and how I was feeling throughout the whole thing. Her husband is played by Simon Rex. Yes, the same Simon Rex that was in Scary Movie 3. And we see his death scene in Scary Movie 4. I'm not going to complain that his character died in 4 and now is back in 5, because Scary Movie movies have done that. Or this franchise has done that. They've killed characters and just brought them back without an explanation. It's not so much that. It's more so of, well, Simon Rex's character, who they acknowledge is the brother of Charlie Sheen's character, which is in continuity to the previous movies, he was with Anna Faris and then he died, so they're not together anymore. So if he's just alive again, why are we not talking about that he used to be married to Anna Faris? Like, what is this continuity? I know it's parody, it doesn't really matter. I'm not saying it matters. It's just weird. It's a weird and odd choice to bring back older actors or previous actors and just kind of pretend like we're not supposed to think anything about it. But who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? So the whole movie is them trying to take care of these rabid and raby kids. And the one time I did laugh is the one scene where they move into this house and Ashley Tisdale is dealing with the baby and she doesn't really know how to be a mother. She's all awkward with it. And then she's holding the baby up outside, and she's like, I smell something. And at first I thought she was just going to make a dumb joke about, like, the baby shit its pants or shit its diaper. I'm like, okay, great. But the camera pans out, and you see that the baby's head is smoking from the light thing that's on their patio. Like, seeing the baby with its head almost on fire sounds fucked up the more I say it out loud, sure. But it made me laugh. It did. And I have to point that out because nothing else throughout this entire movie made me laugh. Some of the other actors that show up here is Terry Crews, who actually doesn't do anything funny at all. He's playing the straight man, or, the straight guy in the situation with Simon Rex. I mentioned before how good comedically Simon Rex can be because he's so physical and he's so over the top. And he is here as well, but he's not given good material. He's not given anything that would beef up his energy. It's just him struggling and him trying to make something happen with this, but there's just nothing here. Molly Shannon, who also was in the last movie, now she's here as a different character because why not? And Cat Williams, who, when he showed up, I said, okay, I am bound to laugh when Cat Williams comes in to play a priest, and his whole bit is that he's pretending to sort of try to access any demons or spirits or ghosts in the house, but he's really just robbing them. That didn't make me laugh. And then the scene just ends. We just move on. And we don't acknowledge, I'm like, that's the material he had? They didn't even let him go off and do some funny stuff on his own? Holy fuck. Some of the movies that they decide to parody that aren't horror, which is like, this is a scary movie. I understand maybe having a 2-minute bit or like a quick reference to other movies, because that's what previous scary movies have done. But this scary movie is more of one of those epic movies, date movies, disaster movies, where it's just covering as much random movie shit that it feels like. For example, Planet of the Apes, why is that here? Black Swan, why is that such a big part of this story? In fact, Kendra, who's played by Erica Ash, I like the actress. She definitely tried to put something into this, but having her paired with Ashley Tisdale and having the two of them become such close friends, in fact, they even have sex at one point. But it's like, it felt like they were just trying to recreate and redo the Anna Faris and Regina Hall stuff. And maybe it's just because it's a white blonde girl and a black girl, but like, I just didn't really understand why they were trying to force feed that friendship out of nowhere when they decided themselves not to bring back the original actresses. So that kind of annoyed me. And then they randomly do an Inception joke, which is like, oh fuck, man, Jesus Christ. Like, it's like, we're not even, if the material was funny with those movies I mentioned, then maybe I'd be like, okay, I get why they did it. But it wasn't funny. It was all lazy. It was all stupid. It was all dumb. And a big fat waste of time. The portion where they make fun of Evil Dead, again, I didn't laugh, but I guess I appreciated having the actors that I didn't remember being in here, like Tyler Posey, Sarah Palin, and Bow Wow, who I don't like, but he was there and he was cutting his arms and legs off. It's just too bad that they didn't know what to do with any of that bullshit. Holy fuck, man, this movie sucks. It does. It sucks. It's a waste of time. Maybe the one positive thing I could say about rewatching this is that I've been so nervous and worried about Marlon Wayans and hopefully the rest of the Wayans. I don't know if they're coming back. Is Sean and Keenan going to be a part of it? But Marlon Wayans coming back to Scary Movie. He's doing Scary Movie 6. It has to be better than this. Like, as much as I don't love the Marlon Wayans movies, like A Haunted House and all that type of shit, it has to be better than the bullshit I just saw. Please. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what do you think of Scary Movie 5? Do you remember it? Did you see it? Did you skip it? I don't blame you. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later. Please won't you save my desires on fire. Sometimes you need a little piece at home. I'm tired, so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side. Waiting for the perfect moment, gonna put it in your